All right. Hello, everyone. Running a little bit late, which isn't unusual, but everyone's here. We're ready for round 3 of playtesting for Steven's season 4 set. Steven is here with us, as well as Nathan, both experts on the game. They're going to be helping us out. Steven, of course, the author of this particular expansion, so he's going to be helping us out not only with just regular gameplay rules, but also helping us out with the newer cards. We're going to see how they work. Nathan, of course, we're going to have as a judge to help us out with X-Files gameplay rules and any disputes, so we can make sure we're playing it as correctly as possible. It is quite a nuanced game, so sometimes things slip past.
Keep it clean, gentlemen.
Always.
As I usually start out, I do want to state this is a play test. So you can see in my field here or in my bureau, I've got play test cards that are blank white with just the basic bare bones information. They don't have the illustrations or anything yet. You'll see a mix in the decks there of play test and regular cards from the published series. Stephen was very careful to make sure that his cards mixed well with previous published editions. So you'll see a great mix in there as well. So that explains that. We are not playing killer cards. We're just playing the published Premier, Truth is Out There, the Mulder expansion, and then, of course, Stephen's Season 4 cards. We might see some promos in there and stuff, but no killer cards or anything like that. And we are playing advanced rules. Stephen, this is our third round. We've had a couple pretty good games here. How are you feeling so far?
Considering we really haven't had to change much of anything as a result of the previous playtest, yeah, feeling pretty good. The sets, I expected there'd be some serious revisions that would have to be made to at least some of the cards, but from what we've seen so far, there hasn't been. And especially in the last playtest, we were seeing a healthy mix of the Gulag cards and the keyword cancer cards coming into play, which was a real treat to see that those overarching themes of season 4 are actually being represented out there on the play mats. That was really fun to see, and hoping to see more of that.
Oh, I have a little trouble with reception. Stephen is kind of in and out. He did mention the Gulag. You may notice a new section in my field here. This is Russian Cyrillic for Gulag in here. So
Great.
That's a great touch.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Guillaume to throw it all at me. So I'm ready for anything. I didn't create a cancer ward in my hospital, but I have a feeling I might see that keyword here once or twice.
Hey, David, can you tell us about that section right above your bureau deck there? I just noticed that.
I was just talking about that. This is the new section for the Gulag. I did print it in Cyrillic. This is Russian for the word Gulag. I thought that would be kind of thematic, and got to be prepared for whatever happens. I'm not going to lie to you. I brought my shiv. I brought 2 shivs in my deck, so I'm ready to defend myself and go to prison rules on this. Anything else we want to add in there before we get started?
You had no chance of getting Clyde Bruckman out of that Gulag.
Clyde Bruckman died an old man in the Gulag, didn't he? That was
right.
He deserved to die there for negating 2 of my adversaries. So yeah, he had it coming.
Oh, okay. Right on. I like it.
Yeah, that is true. He did negate, or no, he didn't negate. He removed from the game.
Removed from the game, yeah.
And I was just like, no, don't, because I want to see the adversaries in action. But yeah, so no, I think Clyde Bruckman actually had it coming there.
Well, I did hear you last week. You said that we needed to play more adversaries. You'll see I have a larger than usual deck here, and I did stack it with adversaries. So hopefully, if I can keep my CP up, we'll see a lot of action out of that. We can get some play testing on that. Gentlemen, anything else before we get started? Did I forget anything?
Nope. Let's have a good game, gentlemen.
All right, Stephen and Nathan will be back in the studio there. Give me the international sign to bring you back if you have any questions or need to point out anything or rules clarification. And we will see you.
Oh, hold on a sec, David. One of your RPs is set to 6 at the moment.
Oh, very sensitive phone. Even the slightest tap and it goes up or down. So thank you for catching me on that.
Yeah. No worries.
Without further ado, Nathan and Stephen, we'll see you during the course of the game.
Sounds good.
Now, Guillaume, I happen to have a token right here in my hand. To decide who's going to go first, we'll decide that, or we'll agree that the red cross is heads.
All right.
And the other side there is tails. So you want to call it in the air for me?
All right. Heads.
It is heads. You get to decide. You want to go first or going to make
me? Yeah, I'll go first. I'll go first, yeah.
Okay.
So who do you have on your team?
Introductions all around. Well, let's get started. There's a big shadow from this giant deck I have going on here. Hold on just a second. To start here, on my top left is Agent Hedon. His game effect is, or their game effect is, Agent Hedon has access to the Field Office Crime Lab to be further explored in later expansions. But place 1 token on this card, remove a token to draw 1 keyword evidence or evidence collection card from your bureau deck and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Next, Agent John Doggett right here. The cost of all keyword criminal investigation and bureaucracy sites is reduced by 1 resource point for Agent Doggett's team. If Doggett is in the same team as Agent Scully, change her keyword skeptic to believer. I didn't include Scully in this, so we won't be seeing that, but hopefully I'll be taking advantage of reducing the cost of my sites there. Next, a tried and true favorite is Assistant Director Walter Skinner. Treat Assistant Director Skinner as a Res 3 if he is in the Bureau section of the table. And lastly is Agent Kautz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Kautz? Or Katz?
I think that's right.
Kautz?
Yeah, Couch. I'd say, but I'm not the biggest expert on how to pronounce things.
Oh, Steven's giving me the thumbs up. I don't know that I've seen too many of these episodes from this season, so I'm kind of guessing on that one. But Agent Kautz. If Agent Kautz is in the Bureau, he may contribute to any evidence collection skill check that is occurring in another section of the table. Those are my 4 agents. Guillaume, who are you bringing to the field there, sir?
So I'll be using the same team as I did last week. So 3 new agents. I'll be using Detective John Munch, who basically allows me to answer a penalty question with aluminum makes a lovely hat. So if I ask you an identity question and I'm wrong, then you cannot ask me a penalty question in return. I have Deputy Barney Pastor, who his token allows me to look through my bureau deck to add any equipment at half cost. I have Detective Hudak, who allows me to reduce the cost of keyword monosites by 1, but he does force me to increase the cost of witnesses by 1. And I have 2 agents from the Premier set. I have Karen Kosef and Agent Colton. They both allow me to use their token to pay for either behavioral observation, criminal investigation, or bureaucracy card. So that's who I'll be playing with this week.
Excellent. And you've chosen your X file?
Yes, I did. Randomly, as usual.
Me too. I don't want to give anybody any clues from habits that I might have. And I'm sorry to refresh my memory. Did you want to go first, or am I?
I wanted to go first.
Okay, then begin anytime you're ready.
I have my 7 card. I'm drawing my 3 card. Okay. I am going to generate my res, which is 6. Let me just check since I'm not all that familiar with the team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 res. And I'm I'm not going to draw. Oh, I'm drawing 1 card and passing it over to you.
All right.
Hold on. Before the briefing phase is over, I'm going to play Friend in the FBI right away. For anyone who's not familiar with the card, it's basically allows me to, I put 10 tokens on the card, and during each of my briefing phases, I get to remove 2 tokens to add those to my resource pool. So it costs 2. So I'm not going to remove anything from my resource pool, and I'm only going to add 8 tokens on the card. So now we're passing it over to you, David.
All right. For buying and selling, I'm going to sell 1 witness, Dr. Shannon. Her effect adds, or his or her, their effect adds 2 to one team's medical or 1 to a team's computer skill check. The RP cost of that is 3, so I will gain 3 CP. That's all I'm going to do.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to take that back. I'm just going to draw 1 card, so I'll reduce my CP to 7 and grab 1 card. Very good. And back to you, sir.
So no healing. For requisition, I'm going to use Pastor's token immediately to look through my bureau deck and add any armor or key or weapon card, equipment card to my hand. So I know which one I want to add. I just need to find it in this gigantic deck. There it is. And I'm going to reshuffle my bureau deck. It's just going to take a second. I want to be really careful with how I shuffle because I usually end up with having 2 copies of the same card, usually at the same time, and it's not always a good thing. Sometimes it is when you get too hard evidence, but okay. So I'm going to requisition SWAT tactical gear for, it costs 6, but it's half cost because of Pastor's token. So I'm down to 7. So it's a new one. It allows me to add 1 to my agent's long range and close range skills. And it also allows me to prevent 1 point of damage. I need to place 3 tokens on this card, and I can remove 1 token to negate 1 point of damage. So it's quite a powerful card, which should really be useful if you are going to throw adversaries on my team. All right. Deployment, everyone is going to the field. Just need to... And I did not get a chance to... And we are going to go investigate the Peacock residence in Pennsylvania. I think that's Pennsylvania. It's a behavioral 4+, and it's a motive question. It costs 2, so I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for 1, since it's behavioral, and paying 1 from my resource. And you may play any bluffs that you want to play.
Okay.
So many cards.
I do have one bluff for your site.
All right, I'm sending everyone. Let's see the bluff.
The bluff is Gulag Bird.
Oh,
Place this card beneath an agent to move them to a section of the table designated the Gulag. Place 3 tokens on the agent, 2 if played on Alex Krychek. Remove 1 token during each of your opponent's debriefing phases. While in play, the agent may not contribute to any skill checks. All equipment attached to the imprisoned agent is immediately discarded. Discard this card when the last token is removed and move the agent to the bureau.
so Gulag already. All right.
Gulag already.
Well, I can't do anything to negate that. So you are free to send one of my agents to the Gulag. For this investigation, it's behavioral 4+, and they all have behavioral. So I don't, for the skill check, I don't think it matters who you're going to be sending to the Gulag, but for long-term game effect, I think Munch and Pastor, these two, are the 2 more powerful agents on the team. But you are free to send anyone that you like.
And the one there has equipment attached, is that correct?
Yes.
Then that agent is going to go to the Gulag, please.
And he loses the equipment, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
He loses the equipment? No.
Yes, he does.
That's unfortunate. That's a waste of a game effect token right there. All right, there. We'll say that the Gulag is here above the hospital. So I'm placing 3 tokens on him, and it's remove 1 token during my debriefing phase. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, so 1, 2, and 3. Well, it does give me more room on the field, so at least that's that. How much was that card?
Oh, it was 6, but it was played face down, so it cost me 5.
All right.
Down to 2 CP.
Any other cards that you'd like to play?
Not at... Not at this time.
All right. So behavioral 4+, and I currently have 4, 5, 6. I have 8.
Oof. When you said you had the same team as last week, I knew I was in trouble.
So it's the Peacock Resident. So it's a motive question. Is your motive? Doesn't matter at this point. Is your motive control?
It is. It is not.
All right. Control, it's a no. As I've learned from previous games, I need to be extra careful with my spreadsheet because I usually make a mistake. So, okay, I think I've crossed off everything. Okay. And I have 7 cards.
Okay. I have 6, so I have no discard.
Okay, so your turn then.
Do you have 3 tokens on your person in the Gulag? I think you can take one away now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. That's true. one step closer to getting out.
Indeed. All right, so I will draw for turn. And I will generate res. Agent Hedon has, excuse me. Agent Hedon has 3. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong way. Agent Hedon has 1.
That would be good.
I'm just making up my own cards, whatever. Beginning at the start here, Agent Hedon has 1. Agent Doggett has 2. Agent Skinner, because he is in the bureau section, has 3. So right now I've got 1, 3 makes 4, and then 5, 6. And my last one is Agent Couts, and that is 1. So a total of 5. Did I count that right? 3.
No, you have 7, no?
5, 6, 7. Much better.
But I'm okay if you want to only add 5.
As much as I would like to help you out, you don't need my assistance. So I'm going to just add my 7. And I will purchase 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And turn it over to you to sell and buy.
I'm going to be selling Laristine for 4, Sheriff Andy Taylor for 4, and Jewishnose RV for 2. So that's 10 that I'm going to be adding to my pool. That's 15, and out of those 15, I'm going to buy 5 cards.
Okay.
Okay. Back to you.
All right. Healing phase. I do not have any agents to heal. Requisition, though. Very interesting. Oof. You know what? I am actually going to skip requisition and go right to deployment. I'm going to move these 3 agents, Hedon, Doggett, and Couts, to the field. And for my site, I'm going to play Strikers Cove in Blue Ridge Mountains, Georgia. That is evidence collection 4 or more. And I ask an affiliation question. That costs 2. So I will go down 2. And I yield to you for any bluffs.
No bluff.
No bluffs. All right. I will move all 3 agents to investigate the site. Any cards to play before I investigate?
Yeah, I'd like to play Quarantine Zone for 5. So it's a new one. Place this card on top of an opponent's site and place 3 tokens on it. Remove a token during each of your opponent's briefing phase. While this card is in play, the team can neither be moved nor contribute their skills to the site, except for agents equipped with a biohazard suit. Discard this card when the last token is removed. It's a keyword event and phenomena.
Events and phenomena. You know what? I don't have don't have anything to stop that. Shoot. I know I've got the hazard suit in my deck somewhere. Hopefully it'll pop up before 3 rounds go by. Refresh my memory. When do I remove a token from the site?
During remove a token during each of your opponent's briefing phase.
Briefing phase. Okay. Well, it would appear you have stopped my investigation.
There is one powerful card which you tried to play on me last game. So, but yeah, no quarantine zone. Not from a not. I don't really like that episode, the one that card is on, but it is a good card to use.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to go straight to debriefing. Oof, I've got 9, so I have to discard 2 here. Discard the Hotel James Monroe. And Steven, you're killing me. These cards are so good. But ooh. I got to do something. So I'll discard Secret Government Files. That'll bring me down to 7.
And I'm going to be playing the Rejuvenating Caves for 2. Which is basically the same as Friend in the FBI, but for the conspiracy player. And I have 7 cards.
All right, then I turn it over to you to start the investigation phase.
All right.
Or I'm sorry, not the investigation phase, but turn to you to start your turn.
So drawing my free card. Good. I'm going to play. Where is it? I'm going to play Hard Evidence right away. So I pay 2, which allows me to add 5 to my resource pool. So I'm going to add 3. And I'm going to generate my res, which is 6. So 15. 15. Okay. I'm going to buy 3 cards. And I'm passing it back to you.
Okay. Oh, Stephen is giving me the signal here. We're going to bring him and Nathan in here real quick.
Yeah, don't forget Friend in the FBI.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries. That was
Thank
all.
you, Stephen.
Yeah, he doesn't technically have to remove them, right?
Like David's gonna hit that remove button like really hard right now.
Well, yeah, that's right. Do not. Well, yeah, I would have removed them if I had remembered. So, yeah.
I'm just pointing out it's not a mandatory thing. You can save them if you want to, but I don't know why you would.
No. I'm
That's
taking
true,
them.
yeah.
immediately. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. It's like, get out of here.
You. All right, so it's to me to buy and sell, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to sell taped intelligence for 4. And back to you, sir.
Okay. I'm going to, before we go any further, I'm going to play Dr. Grissom. It costs 3. So it's a resource from the Premier set. It allows me to add 1 token to my resource pool every time a keyword evolutionary or behavioral card is played. It's basically Kevin Morris for my deck.
Okay.
No requisition, no healing, no requisition. Everyone is staying where they are. And you are going to go to Aubrey, Missouri.
Before you go any further, and I'm watching to make sure I'm playing this at the right time, I'm going to play Unexplainable Time Loss.
Right.
And just for the benefit of everyone watching, this is an event card. Force an opponent team to make a Sciences 4+ skill check, or the current player's turn ends immediately.
Okay. Can I look through my bureau deck real quick?
Can you look through your bureau deck really quick? No.
Yeah. I need to, because there is a card that I can play, but I need to make sure that I included the one. There is one card that I can retrieve from my bureau deck, but I need to make sure that it's in it before I do it. So, do you agree? If you say no, I understand.
I'm going to bring in judges just to make sure I'm being fair here.
So here's my take. I think, Guillaume, you can play the card.
Yeah.
And then search. And if you don't have it, unfortunately, you're just out those resource points. But I don't think you can just randomly search your bureau deck to see if you have cards in it at a given time.
I agree. Okay, no problem.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, it costs 1, so I'm going to risk it. I'm going to be playing Street Contact for 1, and I'm going to look for my bureau deck to see if there is any witness who can help me. And if there is no witness who can help me, at least I know that I can take 1 in my hand anyway. So. Going to reshuffle real quick. So I did find the card that I was looking for. It's one card that I had already discarded, but I was almost sure that I had 2 of that card, but I was not 100% sure. That's the problem between playing with different decks. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be playing Dr. Laristine for 4, which brings me down to 6. So it adds 1. It adds 3 to one team's science skill check. So Colton has 1 science, and with Dr. Steen, I now have 4.
All right. Well done. Well done. And I have no other cards to play.
What was the site? Oh, wait, I had not played the site yet. Here, one second. So let me just check if I can pull that off or not with one agent down. Oh yeah, I can actually. Okay, so I'm going to be playing two sides.
Oh, Steven has something he needs to add. Hold on just a sec here.
Hey Guillaume, I just I didn't want to wait till after the game to ask, but what was the logic in including 2 Dr. Steen cards in your deck? If we were playing with killer cards, I can see that because the Chupacabra is a killer, but since we're not, I'm just curious, what was the rationale there?
Because I usually like to have something that I can use against unexplainable time loss. So I usually like to have my team have at least 4 sciences combined, but I don't have that with that team. I only have 1, so I wanted to have a witness that could add to the science skill check if unexplainable time loss came. And Laricine is a 4 RP card, so that's why I did 2, because I figured I can also sell him for our CPs.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was thinking Colton's the only one who has sciences, so it's I figured you weren't going for science skill check or science site skill checks in this.
Oh, no, I don't. Science,
yeah.
No.
But that's good because unexplainable time loss is kind of a staple card. So yeah, having a contingencies in there just for that, even just that one card, is actually a good idea. And sure enough, it proved useful in this case. But yeah, no, I was just curious. But that has served you well in this instance. So
oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
But that was all. I was just more of a deck query. That is what I had in this case.
That's good because I had him in my hand, I think right at the beginning, and I sold him for CP, but I drew a street contact. So, if I didn't have a street contact, then that strategy would not have paid off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's good thing you had that. Do you have 2? You probably have 2 street contacts, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's almost a given. Yeah, because you got to be able to find some way to get those necessary witnesses out there when the time's right. All right, carry on, gentlemen.
All right, back to the game.
So everyone stays where they are. There are currently 4 agents in the field. We are going to go investigate Aubrey, Missouri, and the Cassandra house. So the first one, Aubrey, Missouri, it's a behavioral. So I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for 1. Dr. Grissom generates 1 res, which I'm not going to be using. I'm going to be using it to pay for the site. And the Cassandra house, it costs 1, and it's a behavioral or criminal investigation. It costs 1. And I'm going to be using Grissom's second token to pay for that site. So not paying anything and not generating anything either from Grissom. So the first one is behavioral 4+. It's a motive question. And the second one is behavioral 5+ or criminal investigation 5+. And it's a method or result question.
I have no bluffs, so go right ahead.
So Colton and Kosef will go to Aubrey, Missouri. And Munch and Hudak will be going to the Cassandra house. Okay. So we are first going to go investigate Aubrey, Missouri. It's a behavioral 4+ skill check, and I currently have 4.
Steven's got a question for us here.
Just one other thing, Guillaume, I forgot to mention. Since you have Detective Hudak on you had Detective Hudak on your team earlier when that witness was played.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh yeah. Oh, and you know what? Last week I forgot about his effect as well. It doesn't have it. It doesn't need to have a token.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that didn't even occur to me.
Oh, that means that I should have. Dr. Grissom should have cost 4 instead of 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the monocyte should be.
Oh, that's true. Cancels 1 out, but yeah, you played 2 witnesses.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to remove one. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. I forgot about Grisham, but it just occurred to me. I was like, oh yeah, he's got UDEC going on there.
And yeah, and I think I forgot about him as well. So yeah, I need to be careful about that and about sites also. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, sure.
So Aubrey, Missouri, criminal behavioral 4+, and I have 4+.
Ask away, my friend.
Is your motive survival?
It is not.
No. Okay. All right, almost done. That's not the most riveting part of the game, that crossing off things off the checklist, but okay. All right, that one is done. And next we're going to go to the Cassandra House in Rhode Island. It's a behavioral 5+ or criminal investigation 5+. I'm going to be, oh, and I forgot to say I'm going to be using criminal investigation. Yes, and I have 5, 3 with Munch and 2 with Hudak.
I have nothing to stop you.
And it's either a method or a result question. I'm just going to, which one will be more useful? Is your method threats?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, I'm done.
All right.
This side goes away. And I have 6 cards in my hand.
All right. I only have 5, so no discard.
All right, I'm removing 1 token from Pastor and passing it over to you.
All right. I will draw for turn. And I am going to use my RP to buy 2 more. Great cards, but nothing I can use right now. I turn over to you to sell and buy.
I'm going to be selling Nurse Owen for 6. And Owen.
Before you go any further, Guillaume, Stephen wants to break in here.
Don't forget to remove a token during your briefing phase from the quarantine, David.
Yes, thank you very much.
You betcha. Did you generate Skinner's res, by the way? I must have missed that.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even do my res, to be honest with you.
Okay, I looked away for a second. I was like, wait, did he do it? Yeah, this is what happens when I'm not watching completely. I become unsure. But okay, cool. Glad we caught that.
Well, I
You
do
kind of
want to
need it
play.
without your team available, so you need all the points you can get.
I do want to play a technical game, so I did kind of forfeit the turnover. So I'll have to let that slide this time.
Oh, no, you can go ahead. I had not done anything yet. You can generate your res if you.
Yeah,
no
you're
problem.
still briefing at this point. I just wanted to remind you before you got into healing and like, oh yeah, you got to remove that token before you get out of the and get your res before the briefing phase ends.
All right, then
So
I
you're
will.
still yeah, you're clean at this point.
All right, and Skinner is in the bureau. Thank you, Stephen. Skinner's in the bureau, which means he gets 3 res. So I'll bring it up to 8.
Are you all done, David?
I am. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were waiting for me. Turn over to you to sell and buy.
So I'm going to be selling Nurse Owens for 6 and Owen Jarvis for 4. So I'm going to be adding 10. And I'm going to use the 2 from the caves. And I am going to buy 4 cards or 5 cards. And passing it back to you.
All right. No healing, so we'll skip that one, and no requisition. Everyone is about as deployed as they're going to get. I'm going to keep Skinner in the bureau, and these guys can't move, so they'll stay at that site. Unfortunately, I do not have a site to play that would work for me, so I'm not going to play any sites. Anything else you would like to do?
I have just one technical question, and just because I have so many cards that instead of discarding them, maybe I can play one, even though I'm not sure it will be useful. But I have Insanity on Rye, which is a new one, and it allows me to inflict the keyword Insanity on one keyword or one. Oh, you know what? That's a moot point. Well, just for the fun of it, I was going to ask if I could play it on Skinner, since even though he's in the bureau, the card doesn't say the agent needs to be in the field. So I know technically I cannot play it on Skinner because he doesn't have a keyword low, but just for the technicality side, could I play Insanity on Rye on an agent who is in the bureau?
Let's go to our author of this.
Yeah, not what I was intending, but so I was just going to pull it up. But it's it just says play on any agent or something. I'm sorry, I should know this because I wrote it, but
it says place this card on an opposing agent to change one keyword independent or low to Insanity.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, okay. I should probably amend that to include play on an opposing agent in the field. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? But yeah, no, the intent. I mean, as it currently stands, I mean, yeah, you could, but yeah, we need to change that to in the field. So I will. I'll send that updated one to Dax to have him include that in the revised one. So, good catch. I'm glad you asked. I mean, it's like, yeah, technical question, but that's where the technical questions are going to reveal the potential flaws in there. So
That's
yeah,
why we play test.
that is indeed why we play test. Yeah, nice catch.
So otherwise, yes, as written, but in the future, no.
As written, yeah. As written, yeah, I could. Yeah, it'd be hard to make a case against it, but yeah, it should be in the field though. I mean, as it happens in the episode, Scully's out in the field in Philadelphia.
Hey, nobody's getting a tattoo in the bureau. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird things that do happen in that FBI garage, especially in season 8. And I wouldn't rule out the possibility of some underground tattoo parlors going on.
Maybe Charles Burke picked up tattooing in his spare time.
Right.
So as it's written, you can play it in the gulag. It could be like a prison tat.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
All right. This is one of the few serious changes we've had to make to one of these cards, and I like it. So yeah, I'm glad we had that chance to find that out.
And I think usually you wouldn't even consider that because there would be other agents that you could put that on. But
and as you pointed out, Skinner doesn't have the keyword law for some weird reason.
Yeah, that's
I have no earthly clue why. That has to be just a mistaken omission. It's just every other FBI agent or law enforcement agent card has law, but for some reason, well, Skinner and I think Kosov's actually missing law, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
no, she doesn't have law either.
Right, but it does give him a strange. Yeah, for any instances in which law is a keyword, sometimes Skinner might be, skating by on that. So it kind of might work in his favor, but yeah, it's still a weird omission. All right, but yeah, well done.
All right, let's move ahead then. Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard Pete Calcani and Insanity on Right. You have already seen it, so yeah, I'm not keeping it. And I now have 7 cards. Okay, 7, yes.
I have 7, so no discard. I turn it to you.
All right.
Where are you?
On my free card. And my res. With 2 from friend in the FBI. And I am going to buy. I'm going to buy 2. I'm going to buy 2 cards.
Okay.
And passing it to you.
All right. I am going to sell Maintaining Deniability. That costs 2, so I will add 2 to my Conspiracy. And I will not purchase any, so I turn it back to you.
Okay. No healing, no requisition. We are going to go to in keeping with the insanity theme, we are going to go to South Tattoo Parlor in Philadelphia. It's a behavioral 5+ or computer 5+, and it's a method or result question. And I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for that site, and I'm going to add one to my pool thanks to Dr. Grissom, and passing it to you for any bluffs.
By asking this, I'm going to reveal what I'm doing, but what's your medical skills for your agents?
It's 1.
And then I have one bluff.
Could it possibly be the writing on the wall? I'm sending,
Literally and figuratively.
I'm sending everyone to the site.
Okay.
So let's see the bluff.
Okay. The bluff is she had a date.
Oh,
Play to change the site prerequisite from evidence collection to medical.
I'm going to.
It costs 1. I played it upside down, so there's no cost to that one.
Okay. I'm going to be playing Langley on that card. Is there any other card that you'd like to play?
There's cards I'd like to play.
I'm sure.
But nothing to stop that. So you foiled my bluff. If it weren't for those dang kids.
Thank you, Langley.
Oh, Stephen wants to say something here.
I
Steven,
just figure, yeah.
I'm only
I just
bringing
wanted
you
to
into
say,
the
I
conversation
figured-
if you want to help me.
No, sorry, it's not going to help you. I just figured we would make a note for the video for anyone who's watching it, or now, or which I don't think anyone is, but for anyone who watches it on your channel, that we did up the cost of She Had a Date. So even though it's currently, 1 CP on David's printout there, we did increase the cost of that card. I just wanted to make it, leave it as a footnote on the video. So just, if anyone watches it later on,
What's the
they're
true
like, oh,
cost?
yeah, that's a cool card. It's free. Like, well, no, it's actually not. You still have the current version. You still are gonna have to pay even if you put it face down.
What's the correct cost now?
Should be 2. Just because we increased the cost of 2 cards, and now I'm trying to remember. I think it's 2 now. Scroll down. Yeah, it was in the same conversation. We increased. What's that?
Yeah, I think it's 2. But for this game, it does say 1 on the card, so it doesn't. We should stick to the.
Yeah, for tonight's purposes, it's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that it is now going to cost. I scrolled right past it. Where? No, I only updated it on my spreadsheet, but not my phone. Sorry, gentlemen. Don't mean to delay.
Well, was
Yeah,
that
it's 2 now. And the other one that we had increased was if anyone plays in the crosshairs. Was it in? No, wait, it wasn't in the crosshairs.
It was in the crosshairs. So, what was changed about that card?
Did we not? I thought we increased that one.
I think we increased it to 3, and
yeah, it's weird. I don't have. I could have sworn I updated that on here. Go ahead, Guillaume.
Yeah, I was just I'm just going to if I ask if it's because I do have it in my hand, and so it says flip a coin, so it's it doesn't matter. It's so in the crosshairs it says flip a coin in the air. If the coin lands on heads, your opponent must discard the following. So no one so paranoid, Dolan Gunman, Langley, Freaky, etc. So yep. I don't remember do those cards need to be in your opponent's hand, or if he has them in his bureau deck, are they removed from the bureau deck?
Yeah, that was the idea. That's why I didn't just say that's why I said your opponent must discard. That's why I didn't say I was trying to find a succinct language for it that just meant discard them, regardless of whether they're in your hand or in your bureau deck. But I think we had only briefly discussed that. We did discuss that, didn't we?
Yes, but I couldn't remember what we had settled on. So since I did have the card in my hand, and you brought the cost up. So I figured if I did play it, I wanted to make sure that I played it correctly. So
sorry, I was still on in the crosshairs. Yeah, Dax already sent me the revised ones. I think I actually posted those on Discord. So I'm just updating my spreadsheets in my phone to make sure I have those corrections in there. Okay, so now we talk about the text. Yeah, the idea was regardless of whether they were in your hands or in the bureau deck, is just to move them all to the discard pile. But I'm open to suggested revision to that text for clarification. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull out a card that I know I was looking at when I was writing it, but what do you guys have as far as like suggested amendments to that card? Sorry, while I'm trying to find the card I was looking for. Yeah, I was looking at like hazardous, where it says like to discard all keyword cards in his hand. As a for instance of a card that forces you to discard cards in your hand. That's why I just kind of kept it as discard the following cards.
Because I have to say, in my mind, which granted might not be the most but if I read Discord, I read it as I have it in my hand and I need to discard it.
Okay. Yeah,
but that's how I understand it, but it's might not be the correct way to understand it. So what do you guys think?
I think there's room. I'm actually going to what the card looks like that backs. I mean, there's probably room for. There should be. There's not.
Could it must discard from their hand or from their bureau deck?
Yeah.
Can you read me the game text, Guillaume, on the card?
Flip a coin in the air. If the coin lands on heads, your opponent must discard the following cards. No one so paranoid.
Wait. What I have reads differently.
Oh, okay.
The current version says flip a coin in the air. If the coin lands on heads, your opponent must move the following cards to the discard pile. And then it just lists the lone gunman cards. Must move the following cards to the discard pile.
Well, I actually think that the discard language is clearer.
It is?
So you, I mean, to me, it reads fairly clearly, right? You play the card, your opponent, I don't think your opponent has to reveal their hand, but if they have any of those, it's kind of a good faith thing that if they have any of those cards, they have to discard them, i.e. put them from their hand into their discard pile.
But the intent
Not
of the
just
card,
their hand.
it was even if they are in the bureau deck, you should discard them as well.
Right.
Oh, I see the hang up.
So
yeah, that's why I didn't say like in the case of like the hazardous sample, it says discard all discard all keyword evidence collection cards from your hand. I just left the in your. I didn't make a point of including in your hand. I just said move them to the discard. Just move them to the discard pile. I just thought that would kind of be a blank. I thought that not specifying from where would be kind of like a blanket. You're moving them, all of them.
I think typically typically, if we were going to do that, we would say something like your opponent must search their bureau deck for these cards and discard them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, but that's if it's strictly just moving them from the bureau deck. But this is in the case of it's both in your hand and the bureau deck.
If that's the intent, I think we need to be a little more specific with it.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
All right. So as the sentence currently reads, if the coin lands on heads, your opponent must move the following cards to the discard pile. What do you got? Any ideas off the top of your head?
So I would say if the coin, let's see here, if the coin lands, I apologize to our viewers that we're getting this deep in the weeds on this.
I was watching as far as I can tell, but yeah.
But they're watching sausage get made right now. If the coin lands on heads, your opponent must we could say must discard the following cards from their hand. No one's so paranoid, blah, blah, blah. And then we can say something like any of those cards, then they search their bureau deck and remove any of those cards from the game or something like that. Two separate actions.
Hmm.
And
does that make sense?
Removing it from the game, I'm like, I'm probably gonna have to up the cost even more.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or you could say put them in the discard pile. It doesn't really matter. Remove them from the game, discard pile, whatever. The point being, I think you need two separate actions. One, discard from the hand. Two, search the bureau deck and place any of those cards in the discard pile.
And if there is not that much room for text on the card, could it just say your opponent must discard the following cards from their hand and from their bureau deck?
Yeah, I think that would work too. Yeah. In my mind, when I hear discard, I automatically think hand. That's where my mind goes. But in that circumstance, I think since we're clarifying that it counts for bureau deck too, good enough. Yeah. I don't think there will be any. The lodestar here is, will the person be confused by the card? Mm-hmm. And in that, what you just proposed, Guillaume, I don't think there's any confusion. You've got to take them from the hand and the bureau deck. So
there isn't. No, I don't disagree. It's it's just a matter of of course, for one, making the sentence not read too awkwardly, but also trying to fit it in. And I can't really show you. I don't know if it's going to come out or not, but that right there, I've got that just like that much little. You see the blank space just above the 3. That's how much space we currently have on the one that Dax sent. So, so there's definitely not room for. I don't think for having two separate actions. So, Guillaume, could you say again how could you reiterate how you said it? Because I think that might be the best way to go.
Maybe we could say so. Flip a coin in the air. If it lands on heads, so you remove the token. You don't say the coin twice. If it lands on heads, your opponent must discard the following cards from their hand or their bureau deck.
No, not and or. Must discard the following cards from their hand and bureau deck.
And bureau deck, yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go with that. I think Dax is going to get frustrated because he's like, I've already revised this card, once already free, but like one more. Hopefully this will be the last one.
I mean, that's the case for doing the workups, the actual mock-ups of the cards after we've settled on all this stuff, right?
That's true.
So Dax does not get annoyed with us.
Yeah.
And before you send the correction, Steven, because I know that we upped the cost to 3, but since, I think almost everyone has at least 2 Forikis, 2 Langleys in their deck.
And 2 buyers. Come on, there's got to be some people that have buyers.
Should it be 4? Since it can be played face down, so that means that for 3, you get the chance to force your opponent to discard at least 4 cards, which are really important for his investigation.
Let's think on that. Move on with the game, and we'll
Yeah.
discuss in our.
Yeah, discuss it in Discord. Yeah, but I'll mull over it for
Before we send
night.
it for a fourth revision, then.
Yeah, before I said because it's like if I'm gonna send it to him, I want to just be like, all right, this is it. I'm not gonna like have you revise the text now and then later on revise the cost for the third time. let's come up with a more final, acceptable version for it. But yeah, let's carry on, gentlemen. Sorry, for the viewers who are watching, we do apologize for the interruption. But this is playtesting after all. It's not.
This is playtesting, yeah.
There are going to be some questionable things that come up with the cards that we do need to fix. All right.
So, Guillaume, did you actually play in the crosshairs, or were you just wondering how it worked?
No, I was just wondering.
Okay. Sounds good.
So
carry on, gents.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, my turn ended, so that one should go away, and I had to. Oh, and I'm going to remove Pastor's last token. And you know what, David? I remember since Pastor is in Gulag, it should not be generating res, so I should remove 2 because I think that I've added 6 during each turn, but he should not actually contribute to the res pool. So I'm removing those 2 from my resource pool.
Okay. And before we end the turn, I'm going to play, speaking of that particular agent, I'm going to play Extended Sentence. Play on an agent in the section of the table designated the Gulag. Place an additional token of imprisonment on the agent. The agent must remain in the Gulag until all tokens are removed.
All right. So I had removed the token, but I put it back on.
Okay. It is an event card. Did you have anything to play against it?
No.
All right. Then I will go down 2. And I have 4 cards, so no discard.
And I need to discard 1. And I'm going to discard. Oh, sorry, Steven. I'm going to discard Leonard Betts.
As long as you're not discarding Happy Birthday.
No way. And I now have 7 cards.
Okay.
So back to you for your turn.
Very good. And for my site here, it's remove a token in the briefing phase, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in the briefing phase, so I'm just going to start with that. And then I will draw for turn. Ooh. Generate res. Skinner is in the bureau, so he counts for 3 res. So I'll add 2, 3. And I'm going to buy 3 cards. And I'll turn it over to you.
I'm going to sell my second SWAT technical gear for 6. And yeah, that's it. So 16. And I'm going to buy 3 cards. And back to you.
Okay, I have nobody to heal. Nothing to requisition at this time. And everyone is going to stay where they are as far as deployment phase. Case assignment, I do not have a viable team, so no site to play. Did you have any cards you wanted to play before we move on? Otherwise,
No.
I'll go to debriefing.
No, you can go to debriefing.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Yes, I'm going to. Well, no, I can't. No, I can't. Go ahead. Continue.
All right, then in the debriefing, I have 8 cards, so now I have a tough decision to make here. I'll discard Laser Targeter. That puts me at 7.
I have 9 cards, so I'm going to discard Lieutenant Terry Wilmer and Kurt Crawford. And I have 7 cards.
All right, then we turn to you.
All right, so free card. Okay. Generating my res, so that's 5, not 6. And I'm going to buy 2 cards. Okay, and before I pass it over to you, I'm going to be playing my second hard evidence. So I'm going to add 3 to my pool.
Okay.
And back to, and now your turn to buy and sell. Or sell and buy.
All right, I'm going to sell Shotgun for 6. And I'm going to buy 2. And back to you, sir.
No healing, no requisition. I'm going to be playing aggressive recall therapy for 2. So it's a new one. Attach this card to one of your agents to apply a -1 modifier to the agent's health. While this agent is in the field, your opponent must randomly reveal 1 card in their hand once per turn. When this resource is discarded, the agent's health is restored. So I'm going to attach it to Munch, so he now has a health of 3. And so now you can show me one of your cards randomly. So you do not discard it or anything, you just show it to me.
Okay, I'll let you choose just to make sure it's fair. And when I get my finger to the one you want, you stop me. All right?
How many cards?
There are
All right.
8.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
No. No. Yes, this one.
okay. No. It's cancer diagnosis.
Okay.
But I
well,
don't discard. I just hold on to it.
You don't discard. You can play it anytime you want. I just know that you have it.
Thought I had the discard there for a second. I lapsed.
Oh no, that would have been
But
bad.
at least I still have it.
Okay, so deployment, everyone stays where they are, and we are going to go to something just occurred to me during my last turn. I think we talked about all the technicalities of the cards, and I discarded my site, but did we actually resolve the site? Because it was either a method or result question, and I would have asked a result since I already knew your method, but I did not ask a result question. I think after we had finished with all the technicality questions, we just figured that the turn had ended and I discarded the card, but actually I think I didn't ask a question.
You're correct. That slipped past me too. I'm open to you asking that question now if you want.
All right, thank you. So I think it was a result question. Is your result manipulation?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. Okay, we are going to go to Chaco House, Bel Kansas. I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for it. And since it's a behavioral keyword, I'm going to add one to my pool thanks to Dr. Grissom. So it's a refuge of behavioral, and it's an affiliation on motive question.
I have one bluff.
Okay, let's see. Everyone is going. Let's see the bluff.
Sure you don't want to play anything or spend some points?
Not yet.
All right. It's a true bluff. It's just a sight card.
All right. Anything else that you want to play?
Not at this time.
No cancerous nosebleed?
Why not?
Is it an event or a bluff? I don't remember.
It's an event.
Okay.
All right. Cancer diagnosis for 5. Play this card to add cancer to an opposing agent's keywords. The agent's health is reduced by 1 for each turn that he or she doesn't spend in the hospital. If the agent's health is reduced to 0, he or she must remain in the hospital until health is fully restored. Healing cards may be used to maintain the agent's health.
So, okay, who do you want to place it on?
Which agent is it that has the card on them that reduces their health by 1?
It's a Detective Munch.
Yes,
He's
I'll play it on the detective.
Okay. So technical question. So I know that I cannot look through my bureau deck, but can I look through my discard pile? Because I know that there is a card, but I just need to make sure I remember what its impact is.
I believe I've actually done it 2 or 3 times without even asking.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think it really
assuming
comes into question if you want to play like something like Hidden Grave, where you have to search through your opponent's discard pile. Yeah, that's a little less acceptable. You need the Hidden Grave if you want to search your opponent's discard pile, but your own, it's face up.
I mean, in theory, it's not, the discard piles aren't private information. I mean, everybody's seen the cards that are going to the discard pile. So,
right.
Yeah, I think you're good at any time. You can look through it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to play forensic excavation for 3, and it says take any 2 keyword evidence or witness cards from your discard pile. Add 1 card to your hand and immediately use the other one at no cost. So I'm going to be taking 2 witness cards from my hand, and okay. I'm going to be taking Dr. Larry Steen, which I'm going to add to my hand, and I'm going to play Kurt Crawford immediately for 3. So it says play this card to remove the keyword cancer from an afflicted agent. You may have up to 5 Kurt Crawford cards in your deck. So John Munch is clear. And so, yeah, that's it. Behavioral 5 plus, I currently have 8.
I have nothing to hinder the investigation.
So it's an affiliation or motive question. Is your motive ideology?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The site is gone. It's my debriefing phase, so I'm removing Pastor's last token. And I have 7 cards in my hand.
Okay. And I have 7, so no discard.
So your turn.
All right. I will draw for turn. And since this is the debriefing phase, I'm going to take the final token off of my site here. Generate res. Back to full strength here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ooh. That's a lot of res, but I'm just going to buy 1 because I've got some pretty good cards here. And turn to you to sell and buy.
Okay. I'm going to sell 2 cards. I'm going to sell Shotgun for 6 and Dr. Larry Steen for 4. That's 10. Put me up to 23. And I'm going to buy 6 cards.
Oof.
7 cards. Okay, back to you.
All right. No healing and no requisition. So I am going to play Well, first I'm going to go to deployment. I'm going to move Skinner to the field. And then I'll move to case assignment. I'm going to play an additional site here, which is the abandoned bus terminal. It is criminal investigation 4 or more. The question is affiliation. I turn to you for any bluffs.
I'm going to play one bluff on the bus terminal.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it. You know what? I'm going to play blue plate spatial and see what comes up. Okay, it's jailbreak, so it won't be of any use. So I'm discarding it right away.
Okay. I'm going to play Langley to remove your bluff.
So it was a true bluff. No, I'm kidding. It was inner crosshairs.
Ooh, a controversial card.
Yeah.
All right. One moment here. I'll move Skinner and Heaton to the bus terminal and Agent Doggett and Kautz to the Blue Ridge Mountains.
All right. Which one will you be investigating first?
The abandoned bus terminal.
Okay. I have no cost to play on that one.
Nope. All right, then I will ask an affiliation question.
All right.
Is your affiliation primordial?
It is.
I needed that, not going to lie to you. All right, well, that takes care of that. And the Blue Ridge Mountains is also an affiliation question, so I don't think I'm going to bother investigating. And I have 7 cards, so no discard.
I have 10 cards, so I need to do some discard. Okay. Okay. So I'm discarding Aubrey, Missouri, extended sentence, and Sheriff Andy Taylor. And I have 7 cards left.
Okay, then we'll turn to you to begin your.
All right. My free card. Generating my res. So Pastor is still he's still in the gulag as long as requisition has not been done. Is that correct? So no res for him this turn either.
That's my understanding, yeah.
I agree. That's 5 res. And we are going to. I'm going to buy 2 cards and passing it to you.
Okay. I'm going to sell laptop computer for 4 and jailbreak for 2, for a total of 6 conspiracy. And turn it back to you.
All right, no healing. For acquisition, no healing or acquisition. Deployment, Pastor comes back to join the team. And we are going to go to New York. It's medical 5+ or behavioral 5+. I'm going to be one token to pay for that site. And Dr. Grissom generates 1. And I think throughout the whole game, I completely forget every time to use my friend in the FBI or my rejuvenating caves. So it doesn't hinder my investigation, but I need to be more careful about those 2 cards. So New York City, medical, behavioral, affiliation, or result.
No bluffs.
Okay, I'm sending everyone.
All right. Then I'm going to play. You said everyone, right?
Yes, everyone is going.
Okay. I'm going to play Quarantine Zone. Place this card atop an opponent's site and place 3 tokens on it. Remove a token during each of your opponent's briefing phases. While this card is in play, the team can neither be moved nor contribute their skills except for agents equipped with the biohazard suit. That costs 5, so I will go down to 1.
Well, I can't complain about that card since I played it on you, so. So I'm placing 3 tokens.
Oh, it actually worked. No frohickey or anything like that?
Unfortunately, no. So discard. Oh, I should have played that one. I have 9 cards, so I need to do some discarding. But I'm going to play Harold Spooler for 2. It doesn't do anything for this turn, but I place 3 tokens on this card, remove a token, and pick a number between 1 and 12, between 0 and 12. Your opponent must show you all cards in their hand that cost the same as the chosen number. Okay, placing it here. And I still need to I have 8 cards. I'm going to discard. The abandoned bus terminal. So I now have 7 cards.
All right. I have 4, so no discard.
All right.
If there are no objections, I'll begin my turn.
Go ahead.
All right. I'll draw for turn then. Generating res, Skinner is out in the field, so I only get 1. And then Agent Hedon is 1 for 2. Doggett is 2, so that makes 4. And then an additional 1 for 5. And I'm going to buy 4 cards. And I will turn to you.
Okay. And before I forget, Hudak's effect forces me to pay an extra or P for a witness. So I'm going to remove one from my pool. Harold Spooler should have costed 3. I'm going to be selling Sheriff Hamilton for 4, and I'm going to be selling medical treatment for 1, so 5. So that puts me up to 21. And I'm going to buy 10 cards. Okay, passing it to you.
I'm sorry, you said back to me?
Oh yeah, back to you, yes.
Okay, I'm going to play, before I go any further, hard evidence. Add 5 tokens to your pool. It costs me 2, so I add 3. I have no healing and no requisition at this time. And unfortunately, I'm going to look through my discard pile momentarily here. I'm going to use Agent Hedon's token. Place a token on this card, remove a token to draw 1 keyword evidence or evidence collection card from your bureau deck and add it to your hand. So I'm going to do that now. Where did you go, you little devil? There you are. And I'm going to bring back, well, it doesn't say I have to show it to you, so I'm just going to put it right back into my hand here. Oh, I'm sorry. I was pulling from my discard pile. I need to be pulling from my bureau deck.
No.
Ah, here it is. Okay. And I'll start to shuffle. Well, I'll tell you what, instead of me shuffling while everyone just sits and watches, I'm going to go ahead and play the card. Moving to case assignment, and I'll play the site card. It's Flight 549 Crash Site. It is a prerequisite of Bureaucracy 5 or Evidence Collection 5. And the question is motive or result. And the cost is 1, so I'll take 1 off. And I'll start shuffling my deck and turn to you if you have any bluffs.
Motive or result, and evidence collection
And bureaucracy.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, this is the time where is this when I announce which prerequisite I'm going for?
Yes, I think so. I'm always confused about that. So I don't know. Maybe I can ask Stephen and Nathan just to make sure.
I am going to bring them back just to make sure. Stephen and Nathan, the question is, at what time do I, because this is a multi-site, I just played it and I turned it to Guillaume, but this is when I declare which prerequisite I'm doing, right? Or does that come later?
So when you play the site, you don't have to announce anything.
Right,
Okay.
you're still in case assignment at that point.
Right. So later on, when you send your team to investigate, at that point is when you declare which skill you're going for, how much is required, and then how much you have.
Hang on a second. I was double checking us on this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at page 24, and it said this is page 24 is the case assignment. Some sites give you a choice between two prerequisite skills you may use. You must announce which skill you will use, you must announce which skill you will be using prior to investigating the site. This is in case assignment. I thought this was investigating, but I mean, so I mean, in investigating phase, that's when you allocate your agents currently in the field to the sites. So, yeah, I guess you have to announce it before you move your agents to before you allocate your agents to, like, if you have multiple sites or whatever, you need to allocate, or in this case just one. Before you send your agents to a site, you do have to announce what you're investigating.
The door to the
Yeah,
laundry room.
that's what it looks like. I was wrong about that.
Yeah, I am too. Because I
good
thought
catch.
it was case assignment. You're putting the site down. That's it. And then it's like investigating. I thought that's where it came up, but I'm mistaken too. So, yeah, we got a lot to learn, don't we? Before we ever do a advanced tutorial, right, David?
Even though this game's been out for 20 plus years, there's still questions.
Some of us, hadn't played in like 20 years, and finally we find a group of people willing to play, and so get a few more games.
So
we'll know this manual inside out.
Yeah, so bottom line, before you send the team on a multi-site, you have to declare which skill you're using.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then you can't change it.
Yes. This
Later
is interesting. Did you see the very last sentence on there, Nathan? I don't think this ever occurred to me. The one that's right after that.
About playing identical sites?
Yeah. I don't know why. That has not occurred to me.
Well, I thought I mean, frankly, I thought for any card you can only have one in play at a time unless it specifically says otherwise. So, for example, Samantha Mulder says you can have two in play.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're right.
It's interesting that it's included in there. It's included in the manual for this subset of cards. But it's also mentioned for, like, you can't have like two Mulders or two Scullys when you're selecting your agents. It's mentioned there, but right. It's just interesting that it's noted there. But because I have like two of each alien investigation site in my hand, but then again, I never investigate two sites at once, so it's just, for me, it's never come up. But I'm like, oh yeah, good thing I never do that, because actually I couldn't do that anyway.
It was Guillaume. It was on page 24 if you're looking for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
it does never come up, because I was going to say about the
you have a lot of like two of every site in your deck, so it's like I feel like I've seen that bus terminal like multiple times already.
Yeah, you should have two, but I don't think I've ever thought about playing two at the same time.
Yeah, I've never, but then again, it's good to know. But it makes sense. But it's just it's just interesting that it's noted there. But as Nathan said, it's like
but
I mean, I guess
it's just right. For instance, I could have two rejuvenating caves in play.
What, really?
I don't know. It doesn't.
Is that true?
Or not?
Or not? Yeah.
It doesn't say otherwise on the card, and
We'll have to look at that. That's actually never come up before.
Yeah, it may be that you can actually. I mean, it may be that you could actually like play like
And could two agents have
Yeah, there was
different-
another day you played two hard evidences like back to back. So, but maybe there are some like some subsets of cards where that is okay. Like obviously not agents on your team, and obviously as it states here, not with two sites. But what about equipment?
Yeah, could two agents have the same equipment?
Like two binoculars? Like
Yeah.
I don't think I thought it was one agent could not have like two binoculars, but two agents could have, you know, a pair of binoculars each. I have to go to equipment now for that.
But if,
Yeah, I thought that was my understanding of it.
if two agents have an equipment, could they both use their equipment in the same skill check, or do they only use one equipment, even if multiple agents have each an equipment card? Because I think
should
there's
be
something.
Probably looking in the basic one because I'm looking through here enough. Let's see. Yeah, because the basic manual is the one that actually goes over each card, but I don't know if that's where it's going to say it. Equipment 22, page 22. What? Is this equipment page 22?
Okay, it's page 21. So agents may not have more than one of any particular item, but may have as many total pieces of equipment as they wish. Also, an agent may only use one piece of equipment to modify a single check.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But if two agents have equipment that modify the same skill, they can use both. They can each use their equipment during a skill check.
Oh, wait a second.
So, for instance, if we talked about binocular, like if Colton had binocular and Kosef had binocular, they could each use their binocular in the same observation skill check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But if they have multiple pieces of equipment that modify a single skill, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
Really? It says that in there? Where does it say that?
On page 21.
It does it on 21? Oh, because I was looking on page 20.
It's the last
Are you still
sentence on
advanced
page
or
21.
Oh, okay. I was looking at basic. I was like, okay. Well, now. Yeah.
When have we ever seen a game being played where an agent has two?
Well,
Kind of want to do it now.
so if you recall, in our tutorial, I equipped Mulder with the 2-Lux video camera and the lockpick, both of which add to the subterfuge skill check.
And that would never happen in an advanced game where you would have to pay like 9 for those 2 cards. That's
Yeah, but it came up in the basic tutorial where I gave Mulder both of those cards because he only had one subterfuge. I had Krychek too, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to give Mulder all this so he's like a veritable subterfuge machine at that point. But now I realize I can only use one of those 2 for a subterfuge skill check, huh?
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do a Voltron strategy where you just pile one agent with all the equipment they can handle and send them solo into the void.
Yeah. Well, in that instance, David sent Mulder to the hospital, so he didn't wind up actually using his subterfuge. Well, he did. I mean, I had Krychek, so I was like, David sent Mulder to the hospital, so I was like, all right, it was a multi-site, so I couldn't do it anyway. Although then it occurred to me way later, I'm like, oh, wait, I had the 2-Lux video camera. I still could have actually contributed my subterfuge to it, but I forgot.
All right, so I think you guys ready to get back to game?
yes.
Yeah. Now I'm like, so make a flub. I was hoping out of all the videos without having a single error, I was hoping that tutorial would be the one, but even now, still find a way to make a mistake. Man, so many nuances. All right, yes, let's get back to game, gentlemen.
All right, back to the game. And
He's gonna come back here.
with this new revelation, I just played this site, so I have to declare the prerequisite. I'm using evidence collection of 5.
All
Or
right.
more.
I'm going to be playing. One bluff.
Okay. I'm going to play Langley to negate unless you have anything to stop him.
No.
Okay, we'll play him for 2. And
So that was nasty surprise.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'm all in, baby. All 4 agents.
Okay. So I'm going to be playing another bluff because I was sure you were going to. I don't know why, but I did not want to put all my bluffs at the same time. I'm going to be playing no trespassing for 3 at full cost. It says play this card to prevent all agents with the keyword FBI from contributing their skills to the site.
That is everybody. All right. Well, that stops that. Unfortunately, I don't have anything. Oh, is that an event card?
No, it's a bluff.
Oh, that's right. You told me that already. All right. Yeah, I've got nothing to stop it. So you thwarted my investigation.
All right. And now I have a lot of discarding to do. One more. Sorry it's taking so long. It just that's the problem when you have so many cards. And still no freaky. So it's unfortunate. Okay. So I discarded Nursiness, Striker Cove, Writing on the Wall, New York City, Chemotherapy, and the Writing on the Wall. And that's 7. Okay, 7 cards.
And I think we've been neglecting to take advantage of cancer diagnosis. Isn't your guy supposed to be losing 1 health per turn?
Not because I played that Witness on him to negate it right away.
Oh, that's right. I was so excited about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
left the card on the table, so I thought it was still in play.
Okay, so my turn.
Yeah, I only have 7, so no discard. So play turns to you, sir.
Okay, my free card. I'm going to remove 1 token from Quarantine Zone. So no res. I'm going to use 2 from friend in the FBI. So I'm not forgetting this time. And I'm going to draw 3. I'm going to draw 4 cards.
Okay.
And I'm going to pay 3 to play Troiki on Quarantine Zone.
Oh, sure.
He came up, thank God. And back to you to sell and buy.
Okay. I'm going to sell laptop computer for 4 and search warrant for 2 to make 6. I'm going to buy 3. And I'm going to look to our judges here and to you, Guillaume. Is now the right time to play Rejuvenating Caves?
No, it's during your debriefing phase. No, wait, no, no, sorry. I thought, no, you can play it any time, actually.
Okay. And I can take advantage of it now too, right?
It says beginning on your opponent's next turn.
Okay. Then I'll save it for later.
Yeah.
Turn back to you then.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I thought it was the debriefing phase, because I usually wait until the debriefing phase to play it, since you can't use it right away. Okay. So no healing, no requisition, and I'm going to be, before we continue, I'm going to play maintain deniability for 2. For the remainder of this turn, your opponent may only play keyword government cards.
Okay.
And back to you.
Well, with that card on the table, I have nothing to play.
So well, we're back in New York City. So it was behavioral 5+. So I have 9. And I'm going to be using aggressive recall therapy to have you reveal 1 card at random.
Okay. I have 8 cards.
Okay.
And I will put my finger on it and you tell me when to stop.
No, no, yes.
Okay. Rejuvenating Caves.
Which I already knew you had, so. So is there another card is there a card that you'd like to play?
Unfortunately, no. You have a clear path to your
So
question.
affiliation or results. Is your affiliation government?
It is not.
Are you Dr. Benton?
Yes, I am. Dr. Benson. Congratulations. Now, here's the question. Gentlemen, we've been on for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
We have not seen a single adversary.
Once again, the adversaries have been very much absent from the game. That's the
I'm not
one
going to
thing
lie
I
to you. I stacked my deck with adversaries specifically because you mentioned that last week, and I have not seen a single one. With the exception, I do have 2 in my hand, but the government, only play government prevented me from doing anything this turn. Should we keep going for another couple rounds, or
I just say we just do some battles with it. Just pull out your adversary cards and just have your agents go to town on them. You know, just try it. Yeah.
Let's say that I had not played Maintain Deniability. Or you know what, just play,
there you go. Take the,
play ignoring the requirements. Just play any opponent that you like, so we can see how they would work.
Alternate timeline here. This is the darkest timeline for Guillaume.
Well, I'm still short, so I wouldn't be able to play him this round anyway.
Let's pretend you're not.
Yeah, just assume you could, and we'll see what happens.
Anything to get an adversary out on the field. Good Lord.
Then
play any adversary for free, ignoring
There
activators.
you go. Yeah.
Ignoring activators.
Yeah, just pretend like his site just is like every character keyword on the board is there.
Really?
Yeah, just this one play. Just come on, let's see it.
I'm going to play Eddie Van Blunt.
Okay, I mean that's gonna have to carry over to the next round. I was thinking more of a combat adversary, but all right.
Oh, true, and that kind of.
If you played that earlier in the game, I'd be like, that's awesome, but yeah, it's already over. That's not really going to be a good showing.
And my other one is
go
Gulag
through your bureau deck. Just go through your bureau deck, David, and pull out any adversary you like, and pretend the activator requirements are ignored and the cost.
Okay, I'm going to play Leonard.
So while he's doing that, I want to go back to talk about how the equipment cards you can only I had the pages open, then they had to go and close on me. So yeah. Also, an agent may only use one piece of equipment to modify a single skill check. It says that in the advanced manual. It does not say that in the basic manual. The basic manual does include the stipulation of there is no limit to the amount of equipment any agent may carry. However, no agent may have one or more than one of any particular item. But it does not say that other portion, which is present in the advanced manual. So I'm hoping that absence in the basic means I'm clear on my tutorial and that I don't have to reshoot or anything.
I'd say you are. And really, basic makes it really too easy.
Yeah, because I don't want to get like comments like, oh, you can't do that. No, it does not say that in the basic manual. It does say in advance. So this is the basic tutorial. But yeah, I'm glad I'm learning this, though, in case we ever do decide to do an advanced one, which I don't know. I think I'm going to have to be in a crazy frame of mind, because filming that tutorial was, as David knows because he was there, for me it was brutal, because just try not working on a script, but it sounded scripted, and then trying to remember, and there was more talking and instruction than I cared to have. And so with doing an advanced one, to try to cover all the nuances in advance, just put a few drinks in me, maybe I'll feel like up to doing it, but I'll be slurring all the words. But it might be a fun watch, though. Anyway, David, do you have an adversary?
I do.
Let's see it. Brace yourself, Guillaume.
My adversary is. Wait for it.
Actually, might as well pull a few adversaries, because I want to see a few rounds of this.
They're right on top here, so I'm just going to go one after the other. I'm going to play the gray-haired man.
Oh.
Oh man!
And because he's a government, I'm going to play the Gulag Commandant along with him.
I mean, okay. I mean, you can't. I mean, we're not going to really bother with that, but yeah, that's fine. We're not going to. I mean, we'll set. You know, it's going to send the agents to the Gulag after they take damage, but whatever. Yeah, go with it.
Just let me have this.
Just do it. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, we're actually going to go through an agent in the Gulag. But yeah, let's go.
I made my little Gulag section on here, and I've got all the cards in there.
And he's
So the
very cheap.
gray-haired
He's a
man.
cheap adversary anyway. So yeah.
The
All right.
gray-haired man is
Gray-haired man in
LRC.
action. Let's do this.
All right, the gray-haired man LRC is 7.
All right, bye-bye resource cards, Guillaume.
Yeah, all
Get rid
witness
of all those
resource
resource
cards
cards
are
in your
immediately
field.
discarded. This adversary may use martial arts and subterfuge. I'd like to see this guy use some martial arts.
Yeah.
Damage caused by this adversary during long-range combat may be split among all opponents' directed players' choice.
Could you read the part about the witnesses again, David?
All witness resource cards are immediately discarded.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
those two.
Bye,
will be gone.
Declarism. Bye. Yeah, Harold Spieler does have resource on there, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Yep.
gone.
Bye-bye. I know David would love to play that card while I have Kevin Morris and Kristen Killar out on the field.
Yeah.
Oh man, a
Nothing
double
please
whammy
do
like
more.
that.
So how much health does the gray hair man has?
He has 6.
Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 9 long-range combat. So my team can take him out, but he does deal 7 damage.
And you can split it among the team too.
So that means that he could take out 2 agents. Munch, Hudak, and Pastor have a health of 4. Oh, no, sorry.
Now,
Right.
let's assume Munch still has, or does Munch still have the card underneath him, or no?
Well, he had it, but
All right, never mind. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
What's up? Munch and Pastor have 4, and the other ones have 3. So, yeah, he could take out 2 agents.
That's what I'm going to do.
Not bad. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
For a cost of 8 CP to play that?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, 2 agents plus 2 witnesses, resources discarded. So that's a good use of 8
Pretty
CP.
good. Way better than the Bounty Hunter. Good lord.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter sucks.
Bounty Hunter's what, 12?
12, and basically, and his long range is not skipped, so he can get taken out before he ever deals damage, and he costs 12. It's ridiculous.
Sounds like he needs some combat cards.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
He's only going to benefit from combat because, he can get owned, in long range, and then never deal any damage at all. So it's like you'd have to basically play him when there's like maybe 1 or 2 agents investigating, but if it's like you have Krychek on that team of 1 or 2, on that team of 2, he's still going to get killed in long range. So yeah, he's a terrible adversary.
As far as the gray hair man is concerned, I think that the cost is fair, and I think I think that card is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So taking out those 2 agents, I don't remember the site. If we had a site, if that was going to take that investigation out of commission or not.
The previous site,
A random site.
I'll just take out. If I take out Munch and Kostov, who contribute the most to the site, I only have 4 behavioral left. So for a multi-site, it would be enough to support my investigation.
Yeah.
But not for a mono-site.
Not bad.
So that's a pretty devastating card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even more devastating Guillaume's got a team of 5 agents there. I think most teams are going to be 4 agents. So that's going to hurt even more. And if you're trying to spread your agents among 2 different sites, he could wipe the whole team.
Bingo.
If Pastor had still been in the Gulag when you played that card, I would only have had.
Oh man, you would have been floored.
I would have had 6 long range combat. So
Still
it's
enough to, still enough to kill him. Okay. Definitely
then-
wouldn't be making that sight though.
but no.
So then before we move to the next adversary, is this adversary overpowered or under cost?
I don't think so.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think the cost is right, and he should be a powerful adversary.
Yep.
All
He
right.
was I mean, for all the dastardly deeds he committed on the show, killing X, running Skinner's wife off the road, killing Detective Thomas. He
I
did a
forgot
lot of
about the Skinner's wife thing.
Yeah. So he
All
did a
right,
lot of
we're
bad
gonna-
things in his like 5 episode appearances, man. And he set up Skinner. He framed Skinner he set him up twice in the course of the show. But yeah, no, he's a dastardly villain and well deserved of the master keyword that's been assigned to him. All right, what do you got next, David? And Guillaume, just for fun, do you want to put out the pastor's tactical equipment just for the sake
Oh,
of
sure.
getting?
Yeah,
You did have it at one point. A
Oh,
very
yeah,
brief.
it's the first one that was discarded.
Yeah.
Guillaume, do you have a adversary you want to throw out there?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll just go back and forth a few rounds.
I have. Where are they? Okay, I have Old Man Nichols. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see Old Man Nichols on your team. So we assume that your whole team is on the field? In the
Correct.
field? Okay. So, if there had been keyword sciences witnesses that witness would have been negated and removed from the game, the long-range combat run is skipped. Any agent wounded by Nichols is instantly frozen and may not move, contribute their skills and effects, add to the pools, or heal wounds until a healing card is played. So we skip the long-range combat. Close-range combat, he deals 4 damage, and he has a health of 3. So obviously he's taken out during the first round of close-range combat, but he can still inflict damages on one agent. So... yeah,
And for a cost of 6, he's getting one agent.
I guess if you choose your agent carefully, it can prevent the team from investigating the site.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me ask you this. It says that the agent may not move. So that means the agent must remain in the field.
Mm-hmm.
But most healing cards need to be played on an agent in the hospital. So would you still be able to move the agent to the hospital to play a healing card on him? Or not? Because otherwise it could really be a problem.
Oh, that's interesting. Successful diagnosis, right? Requires you to be in the hospital. Yeah.
As does medical treatment.
As well.
Isn't there a combat card where you can heal one in the field?
First aid.
But you do need to play it immediately.
No one has that usually.
Oh, really? I have 2.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a good card if you can have it in your hand while combat is happening, but as soon as combat ends, then the card is used
on it.
less.
Yeah.
Actually, couldn't we just get rid of the may not move part of that? Don't they actually bring one of the frozen
they do
people to the hospital in that episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look how great it turned out for him, but
okay, so it's instantly frozen and may not leave the hospital. I mean,
or it just sends them to the hospital.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah. and is instantly frozen and sent to the hospital and may not. Oh man.
Because
Hmm.
if you say that he's sent to the hospital, you don't need to say contributor skills or effects, or because if he's in the hospital, then you cannot do any of that anyway. But
Yeah.
I
Um,
get, yeah, trying to be true to the episode, he would be frozen and he would stay where he is. But
yeah, that was the idea, but then now with the realization that most healing cards are gonna.
Yeah, that's a great observation, Guillaume. I didn't think of that either. There are a few where you can.
Well, yeah, I think actually, are there not? Did I not do at least one witness? I think I did one witness that could do that.
for instance, because I do have Kurt Crawford, but could I
Yeah.
play Kurt Crawford on him? Because it does say play this card to remove the keyword cancer from an afflicted agent. So it is a healing card, but since if the agent doesn't have cancer keyword, then
Alright,
does the
so,
healing
yeah.
card still apply?
I suppose. Yeah, I think he was the only one. Or wait, no, Steen only is specifically for the Chupacabra. Yeah. Wait a sec. Oh, wait. Hold on a sec. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work either. I just thought of Alien Bounty Healer, but I think that's also hospital only.
The one from 1013, I am blanking on the name. The one from The Blessing Way.
Oh, yeah. Ceremony.
Would that, yes, ceremony, would that work? If someone has a deck.
Yeah, check that. Yeah, ceremony, because the agent's going to remain in the field with the ceremony card.
Does Old Man Nichols put a token on him?
No, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
I had White Buffalo in mind too, but
oh yeah, White Buffalo. Yeah.
That actually won't. I don't think that'll work if he doesn't get a token.
Or
right?
wound token. It says one game effect token or wound token.
So no, that would not work. And
if Old Man Nichols wounds, then you could play White Buffalo to remove one of those tokens, and that would count as your healing card. Sure.
Well, I mean, he is inflicting damage.
Yeah.
So he should. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work because.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna have he's gonna inflict 4 close range. So ceremony. Play this card in the field and place 2 tokens on it. Any believer agent, well, it'd have to be a believer agent, but forced to go to the hospital may be placed under this card instead. During the healing phase, the owning player may remove a token to heal all damages done to the agent. So it'd have to be a believer agent, though.
And it does say that the agent has to go to, instead of going to the hospital. So if we stick with Old Man Nickel freezing the agent where he is, then the agent would not need to be moved to the hospital. So ceremony would not work. I think as it currently is, I think only White Buffalo would work.
Hi, Kitty.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Like, I got to do a tally for every time that happens, David. It's probably like the 4th or 5th time now. I'm going to do a keyword search on my spreadsheet just to make sure I'm not forgetting any other healing cards.
I think the consensus here is there are a couple cards that'll do the healing, but not many. Unless you move him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm keeping a Word document of the stuff that comes up here. So I'll just add Old Man Nichols hospital or not to that, and
Yeah.
we can debate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even chemotherapy, it requires the agent to be in the hospital.
Yeah. So, yeah, not a large pool of field healing cards outside of the two, first aid and white buffalo. Huh.
And I think we already spent some time working on that game effect and trying to tweak it, and none of us realized that until now. And I think it's because I remembered when I wanted to remove a sinus cavity implant on Krychek, I had to send him to the hospital. So that's why I remember you need to be in the hospital for most of the healing cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we play out Old Man Nichols here? Do we have anything else to do with his adversary combat?
No, that's it, because he's been David's team kills him, so one of David's agents is frozen, and Old Man Nichols is removed.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get to choose who's frozen, right? Just
Yeah.
to reiterate. Yeah. So I mean, like assuming this is the site, which is a computer 4 or more in affiliation question. Agent Hedon has 3 computer. Doggett has 1, and Kautz has 1. Even with this laptop computer, which I had intended to attach to Agent Kautz, if my strategy had played out, if Hedon was frozen, I still wouldn't have enough to complete the site.
Mm-hmm.
So that would, and yes, for
I take that back, because Kautz would have computer 1 and laptop adds 2, so that's 3.
oh,
And then
okay.
Doggett has 1, so I would still be able to get the site with a 4.
So then maybe Old Man Nichols, you choose the most powerful agent on the team, regardless of the skill check. For 6 CP, do we think that the cost is right?
I mean, I think it's dead on if he sends the agent to the hospital. If it's really hard to play a healing card on the agent and get them unstuck, I think his cost has to go up then. Because we'll talk about this in a minute, but let's talk about the quarantine zone before we end this.
I wrote them. Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's my take on Old Man Nichols. I think if we make it a little easier to get a healing card applied, it's fine. Because again, you've still got to draw it. It's not like an automatic thing, So
the other one I was Agent Janice has a field healing ability, but yeah, I don't know. You don't see Agent Janice on the teams very often either.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Agent Janice on a team, to be honest.
You've seen him like a Mike and Matt. Mike and Matt have used him in some of their.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used him ironically.
Maybe. Yeah. So. Yeah. Of course, the introduction of more field healing cards would, but that would have to be for a future expansion.
Because even if we were to up the cost to, like, say 8, the point is, I think with the cards that we have, official or season 4 cards, it's almost impossible to heal him if he stays in the field.
Of course, you have like cards like what is it, hacking the government files, but that would work only if you have a team with the ability to make a computer 4 skill check. They would be able to fairly yeah, I mean, they would be able to get that White Buffalo card in a pinch. Because it doesn't even have to be in your collection. It could be out somewhere, or it doesn't have to be in your bureau deck. It could be out, in your own collection. But again, just another. But again, only helpful for computer teams.
Yeah, that's a really corner scenario. You have to have the computer and you have to have the White Buffalo card, like readily accessible.
It doesn't have to be in the bureau deck, but it has to be. You have to have it somewhere. Like it could be in your massive mound of cards. But yeah, that's just another venture for getting.
And actually about that card, I think in the FAQ they do mention that card, and I'm trying to pull it up, but it almost seems to be like when you read the card, you think you can go to your box of cards and pull out any card, but
that's how it reads.
But in the FAQ, they don't say that, and so that's why I always hesitate to put that card in my deck.
Say?
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Their FAQ.
Yeah, like they have cards like that in Magic the Gathering, and they pretty much limit them to your sideboard. So you get like a 15 card sideboard that you can use.
What's the name of the? I'm blanking on the name of the card.
Hacking the government files.
Hacking. Where is it? Okay, so the question was, when using hack into government files, the selected card must only come from your bureau deck or your discard pile, correct? Nowhere else? And the answer is, the selected card may come from your bureau deck or discard pile, but it may not be a card already removed from the game or not a card from outside of your 60+ starting deck.
Okay. I mean,
which kind of defeats, I think, the intent of the card.
Yeah, I understand the remove from the game. If it's a card that's been removed from the game, I can understand that. But I don't know. Like, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree either.
I'll tell you, logistically, here's the problem. It says you pull any card out of your collection, right? Yeah. But you can't be sitting around a table for half an hour while someone digs through their pile of cards looking for the specific card they need, right?
Yeah.
So like as a practical matter, and like I was saying, Magic the Gathering has these cards and had to put limits on it too, where you could search. It can't be just like, we're going to delay the game forever and wait for somebody to find this thing. So,
yeah.
So I don't know where we're going to land on that.
I'm not sure either.
But I
that's
think
sort of a tangent from Old Man Nichols and figuring out what we're going to do with him.
Yeah, I think we need to modify the game effect while keeping it true to the episode, because the fact that the agent is frozen is faithful to the episode. And if you just say send him to the hospital and he can't move until a healing card is being played, then
there's no difference.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll find something, because it's really specific. So I'm not sure we will be able to find something right away, but yeah, something to keep in mind and think about for a little while.
Yeah. So quarantine.
I'm just going to resolve I'm going to resolve the in the crosshairs card. We're just going to limit that to what's in the hand. That's it. It could still be effective in paving the way, like you play it as a bluff to get those Frohickeys, those Langleys, and all those No One So Paranoids out of the way, so you can play your next card, and then they have very little recourse for countering it with the usual staples. So it's going to be just in the hand only, so we don't have to change the cost or anything. I think keeping it as 3 face down makes it 2. You remove any Frohickeys or Langleys that the opposing player might have in their hand.
So question about that then. I have a site. David plays in the crosshair face down. I send my team, the bluff is revealed.
Yeah.
Then does the bluff apply right away, or do I get a chance to negate it first?
Well, with Langley, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Langley can do it. Yeah. Unless, you have a way to negate or Langley with another, but no.
This
yeah,
is
Langley,
a really hard timing question.
Yeah, it is, but yeah.
I think whenever a card is played on you, you get the chance to negate it first before it comes into effect. So
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
Now we could put something on the card like this may not be negated.
This card may not be negated. Yeah. That would work.
Other card, I think Deep Throat has that qualifier on it
Deep
too,
Throat
right?
does have that. Yeah. Yep.
Um,
That could work. Yeah,
But
we'll do that. I think you
for
the other,
for three
the other
CP only,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, sorry, I was going to say for only 3 CP, then if the card cannot be negated, then the cost should be maybe 4. If you're not giving the player the option to negate it, maybe because that means that you could not play. Let's say you're investigating an alien investigation site, you could not play an Erlenmeyer Flask or an Alien Discretion either.
Oh yeah.
If it was the Bureau deck too, I think I'd be on board with that. But as Steven is proposing, it just limited to the hand. I don't know. Three seems fine to me.
All right.
Let's see. So nay on the qualifier.
The negate
Yeah.
thing you're saying?
Yeah.
I,
Nay on that.
I,
Or yay or nay.
do you generally so Langley? You can see the bluff right before you.
I always wait until the bluff is revealed.
Yeah.
Until it's revealed to use him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his effect says discard 1 bluff attached to a site. So, yeah. And I've seen him played on bluffs that are face down as well as bluffs that are, have been played. And either, I believe, is fine. Or should the qualifier be Langley cannot negate this bluff? Specifically, Langley cannot negate this bluff. Other cards can negate this card, but not Langley.
Yeah.
I don't. Can no one so paranoid even target that? Since it's a bluff.
It could.
It could. Yeah. Oh,
Hold on. What does a no one so paranoid say? Give me one second.
It has the effects of the 3 lone gunmen, which includes Langley's effect. Although
I see.
I think it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
No one so paranoid would actually.
How could I not realize that before?
Yeah.
Maybe it could be, but then the space on the card would be an issue. But so it lists all the cards, and then maybe it could say the aforementioned card cannot be used to negate this card.
Sure.
But
I like
if there is enough space for that much text, because it does make sense if you play it, then to force your opponent to discard Langley and your opponent plays a Langley to negate that card, that it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Conceptually, I agree. It should be immune from any of the lone gunman effects.
Yeah, because they're the ones in the crosshairs specifically.
Right.
So the qualifier being the aforementioned cards may not be used to negate this card. Keeping the cost at 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Sending that. Sent. It's done. At least that one's been resolved. All right.
Quarantine zone.
And Nathan,
Hold
quarantine zone. Place this card atop an opponent's site and place 3 tokens on it. Remove a token during each of your opponent's briefing phases. While this card is in play, the team can neither be moved nor contribute their skills. except for agents equipped with a biohazard suit. Discard this card when the last token is removed.
I mean, that shuts you down completely for 3 turns.
Mhm.
Might have even been 4. I think you might have forgotten to take one off for
I
a
think you
turn.
did, yeah. It felt like, isn't that? I was like, shouldn't that thing be gone by now? But yeah, and
I'm not 100% sure on that, but
I think it might be
my personal feeling is cost has to go up.
This is a tough one because if you're relying on equipment cards, that biohazard suit, you can only have 2 in your deck.
Well, you can always have like cards like
Yeah.
an event, right?
I mean, the fact that it gives you an out, I think, is what distinguishes it from something like Oubliette, which is just, if that goes off, you're stuck, right?
Yep.
Your agents are gone for 3 turns.
And Nathan, congratulations on pronouncing that card correctly.
Yes,
Oh.
because it bothers me. I'm like, are we still recording? It's like, I don't know. Yes, I've heard it. Yes, including in the most recent video. Yeah, I hear it too. It's oubliette, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe me. I noticed that too, and I really, even in that moment, I was like, that's not how you say it. But I just bit my tongue on that. I was like, I'm not here to correct people. I'm on the show as a surprise guest. I'm not saying that's not how you pronounce it. I also keep hearing an L every time Albert Hosting's last name is mentioned. Like, there's no L in his last name. But anyway, yes. Anyway, sorry, we're talking about quarantine. Yeah. Sorry,
So it's 5 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a bluff, so it can be played for 4.
It's an event.
No,
It's an event.
It's an event? Okay. I mean,
Maybe it should be just
my personal thought is 7, but
well, either increase the cost and keep the 3 tokens, or maybe keep
or go down to 2
and 2 tokens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think I like that better.
Okay.
Because even with 2 tokens, you still, like, for instance, David still had Skinner, so potentially you could play a site, a bureaucracy site, you could maybe do something, generate res, but I sent my whole team, and if I had not pulled out a free key, then you're stuck, and you can't basically do anything for 3 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could have played a little better too with Agent Couts could have been or should have been in the bureau since the site at the time was an evidence collection.
Yeah.
So I could have had Skinner and Agent Couts in the bureau and safe from that and then played them afterwards. So I was thinking maybe it's not that bad after all.
Yeah. I mean, just as it was though, that card just crippled you.
Yeah, it did.
I felt bad for you watching you. It's like, oh well, he's quarantine zone stuck there.
It's more powerful than an adversary card even.
It is, yeah, it really is.
It's as if all of your agents were sent to the hospital for 3 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, I like the suggestion of bringing that down to 2 tokens for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still a pretty punishing card.
Oh yeah.
So
And it still can be, I mean, it can be negated. It's which I believe you played Frohickey on or something. Is that not right?
Yeah.
yeah, you did.
I did. But basically, your only option is either to pull a Frohickey or have a card that can negate a Phenomena card.
Yep, which is hell money.
Because if you, let's say it's an alien investigation site that you're investigating, somebody plays Quarantine Zone on it, and then during your next turn you draw Erlenmeyer Flask or an Alien Discretion. Could you use Erlenmeyer Flask to negate the Quarantine Zone if it has been played during the previous turn?
I don't think so because the card says during an alien investigation or bureaucracy skill check. So I would think not.
Well, the alien investigation skill check is it's still happening. It's just kind of
like the previous turn it was happening, but Yeah.
So the alien discretion only applies to bluffs.
To bluff, I think,
No, we're
yeah.
talking
maybe.
Erlenmeyer Flash, right?
Yeah, only, yeah. Alien discretion is only bluffs. So it would be an Erlenmeyer flask.
Yep. Yeah, I would have a hard time, or I would have a hard time rationalizing playing it like a turn later. But definitely, I like the turn that it is played for sure.
Yeah.
No question. But the next turn, I don't know. Like much as I love the Erlenmeyer Flask is one of my favorite cards, but I think that might be going a little too far with.
Well, so Erlenmeyer Flask says it has to be played during a bureaucracy or alien investigation skill check. And if they're in the quarantine zone, there's no skill check going on at that point.
Correct. Yeah, that's the idea. Until the quarantine is lifted, and then like David had the option, which he did. He has the option to resume investigating that site. He ultimately didn't, just because he already figured out the investigation. Which, bravo, that was a nice one, David. But yeah, I would say at that point, yeah. If it's a turn later, you're done.
So I don't think Erlenmeyer works there.
Yeah, during is just the word that sticks out in that card.
So you have to rely on Frohiki to negate the card, and you can only have 2 of that card in your deck. So.
Hell money, but yeah, 2 hell monies can also do the trick. And any other instance in where you can play a card to change a keyword to get that, to take care of that. Where is quarantine zone? It keeps going back and forth on my spreadsheet because I'm trying to update as we go.
Yeah, I guess
cards that would negate a resource. It also has a keyword resource on it. Or wait, all the cards that negate resources are conspiracy cards, so that wouldn't really work. But maybe, there you go. A resource, an RP card that negates a conspiracy resource. There you go. There's an idea.
Okay.
Criminal art limiting the source. That's another resource one.
Does quarantine have resource keyword? Because it doesn't on the.
Oh, it doesn't? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't on my card.
Oh, did Dex forget that? Let me check mine. Yeah, it does on mine.
Okay, so maybe it was updated after I had printed it. I printed it.
Yeah, it's quite possible that I noticed it well afterwards. But yes, it does. It does have the keyword resource for the finalized version. So I mean, but again, there aren't. There's a card that you can use to negate a conspiracy resource. I don't think there is one, but there's an idea.
I think based on this game, on just this game, maybe we will need to play test this card during another game. But I think based on what happened tonight, I'd say this card is too powerful.
Okay.
And I think for 5 TP, only putting 2 tokens would be detrimental enough.
Okay.
And
so
yeah, I'm on board with that.
To place 2 tokens on it.
Yeah, and it would still be a great card and not easily negated. So it could, even if your opponent can negate it during his next turn, you still prevented an investigation. During his next turn, maybe you prevented him from generating any res. So for 5 CP, I think that's much better than some adversaries.
Okay. Steven, if you want to hold these in your back pocket for a while and want to do more playtesting on these, before you have Dax make changes to stuff, that's fine too.
Okay. Yeah, but at the same, well, I just mentioned that because we play the card with only 2 tokens, and then we decide again that that's still too much.
Well, I just mentioned that because you seem like a little hesitant about making these tweaks. So
no, you're fine.
If you think we need to play test more,
if I do, it's because I'm trying to think of alternates, like devil advocates counterpoint as like, well, yes, but I'm not coming up with any. So no, you're fine. It's fine. No, I need this, but I'm also because I'm trying to make these notes as we go too. you know, and I'm pulling my spreadsheet and my phone to make sure I'm updating them both as we go. So no. If it's hesitant, it's just because I'm trying to, multitask as we go. So you're fine.
Gotcha.
There is another card that, although it's been really useful, and I think I've played it every time it's the first time that I've played that card. It's Maintain Deniability, and I think it's great because most players don't have government. Well, you do have government keyword cards, but not as much as, I'd say, other keyword cards. And for my turn, it prevented David from playing anything, and actually, for the previous 2 games, it also prevented David from playing anything during that turn. So I think it's a great card we should play it. Maybe it could be 3 RP. It wouldn't be too costly. It would still, but I think for 2 RP, maybe it's a little too powerful. There are still, for instance, you could still play Joseph Patton. There are still many cards that you could play, but we've played it 3 times, and every time it worked and prevented David from playing any cards, any bluffs, any adversary. So maybe something else to play test a few more times, but maybe something to keep in mind.
I mean, I will say, just when I was, doing my paper review of the set, right? Like, that's definitely a card that I underestimated. I didn't think like the real value of having a turn where you can do stuff unopposed. I mean, I was really impressed with how that played.
Yeah,
so, and I'm not saying it's overcosted or anything yet. I actually think 2 might be okay for it, but it's really good.
I'll give you some examples as I'm finding of cards you can play when that card is in effect. You can play Section Chief Joseph McGrath to move an agent. That has keyword government on it.
I do agree that there are many cards that you can play.
Yeah. Both of those 2 come up to. I mean, there are some cards that have government keywords that. I mean, granted, I'm wondering how many are the more staples. I mean. Yeah, maybe I didn't mean to interrupt. Go for it.
Sorry, I was going to say there are usually government cards which come up during the game, so I know that it doesn't prevent your opponent from playing anything, and there are still many cards that could be played. And like you said, Section Chief McGrath is usually in someone's deck. But
it comes from outer space.
But
one of my favorite. Play that one. Sorry, go ahead, Guy.
It's the first time. It is the third time that I have played this card, and it has proven to be effective every time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's just a fluke or if that card is maybe, but not too powerful, but maybe slightly under cost for how much it helps you during your investigation. So what do you think, David?
Personally, I like that card. I think it's right up there with. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but it's the bluff card that changes changes the prerequisite to medical, and almost no one has medical. Right? It forces you to diversify your deck and think of cards that you wouldn't normally do.
Right? Yeah.
I just had a quick look at the premier bluffs, and a lot of those premier bluffs that we don't usually see people play with, like Paul Mosinger.
Yep.
And you know who I'm talking. The ones that modify.
Claude Peterson.
Yeah. Those are all government bluffs.
Yep. And my Video Trap, one of my all-time favorites, Video Trap also has government on it as well. As does Captive Hybrid, a close runner-up. So there are some cards, even in 1013, that do utilize the government keyword. But I think maybe I'm feeling like a few more plays with it just to see. I mean,
I don't get me wrong. I love
an adversary you play, did you not have? Oh no, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Gray Haired Man. I was like, that's a government one, but you just pulled that one from your deck. It was not like it happened to be in your hand. Sorry, Guillaume, what were you saying?
I was just going to say I do love that card, and it has helped me every time. So I'm all for it. Just maybe I felt maybe it was a little slightly undercost, but I'm not opposed to anything, and I have 2 of that card in my deck. And I think from now on, I will have whenever we play with season 4, those cards will be in my deck.
That is a favorite, but yeah, I mean, I'm willing to entertain it, but but I would like maybe a few more instances, a few more play tests with it before we commit to that one. He ain't printing the event cards anytime soon, so I'm good with giving that one a little bit more time before we modify that one. So okay. All right, I'm gonna note that one because I don't want to forget about that one because we're gonna table that one for. But yeah, and the fact that you guys have 2 of those cards in your each, that's gonna come up. It's gonna come up more.
And one of the things that I wrote down is that it was my fault, but I kept forgetting who that affect. Whether to increase the cost of a witness or to decrease the cost of a monocyte.
Hudak. Yeah. I know it's tough to keep track of, though. I get it. Yeah, I'm seeing that, but
I kept forgetting to use my friend in the FBI or my rejuvenating caves token. So.
Yeah, because you had so many resource cards on the field.
It was too much to keep track of.
Yeah, you had a crazy amount of resources that game.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I'm a fan of the resource cards, but I admit it is very hard to keep track of. It's like, especially now that, we had recently agreed that in instances in which your opponent plays a card that has like one of those keywords, okay, I get a point for that one too. So yeah, that's even tougher to keep track of.
Yes.
With those resource cards in play, but you do what you can, and the penalty oftentimes is, especially if you're playing in a tournament, you didn't catch it, tough luck. It's especially, I mean, granted, in a friendly game, it's like I'm willing to overlook, add your RP to it, but I understand in tournaments people are not going to be as inclined to forgive you on those, which as it should be.
All right, gents, I am wiped, so I think I'm going to hop off.
Good Lord, Nathan. Yeah. It's like, I hope you don't have much going on your Sunday morning.
I pulled a Guillaume, and I was up at 5 a.m. today, too. So.
Yeah, I got up at 6 because I had to work today, but I'm feeling it too. But I am gonna be spending all day with my daughter because she and my wife are going to New Mexico on Tuesday, and they're going to be there till the 22nd. So I'm going to be, it's kind of like, last week, before they go, my last full day off of work that I can spend, before they're gone for like 14th to the 22nd. Yeah, like 8 days. That's so long. But
gonna be knocking out some season 5 cards.
I might. I'm still trying to quickly. I'm trying to get this tutorial video up, and then I don't have any other videos to edit at the moment. But I know like any moment Mike's gonna message me with like, okay, we got another one for you. I'm like, oh great. So it's gonna be a bit of time management, but I'll make it work. I do want to, because as I'm filing away some ideas that I'm coming up with. I'm like, okay, more field healing cards. Let's get those out here. That's for season 5.
I was thinking when we were talking about the in the crosshairs card. So there's one that this is just a concept, mind you, but when Scully in Patient X tells Cassandra Spender, "Don't take the implant out of your neck," right? Mm-hmm. I want to take that scene and make how it's drafted right now is
you play it against an opponent, and they have to discard all keyword cancer cards from their hand
Okay.
and from the top 10 cards of their bureau deck. So they reveal their hand and the top 10 cards of their bureau deck, and all keyword cancer cards go into the discard pile.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Which is kind of the same concept as
What happens
in
to
the
all
cross-
those 10 cards get discarded, or can they go back in that order that they're pulled?
oh yeah. So the deck gets shuffled after.
Oh, okay. All right. If you're shuffling it. All right.
Yeah, after that.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I do not like that card.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Cancer is one of my favorite mechanics, man. You
As
can't
the
take
author of
that
the
from me.
season 4 set, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, yeah, I can't say there's not maybe a slight pang at the thought of, oh, but then again, it's still not all encompassing. I mean, if you have those cards buried deep in, well, not, if they're deep down in your deck, I mean, they can still come up.
Yeah, it doesn't take all of them.
It just
right.
means you're not going to be playing a cancer card anytime soon, though.
Exactly. And that was the idea.
That's not bad. I like it. I like that it creates another out because it can be a devastating keyword to have on your agent. So I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can tinker. Like I said, it's just a concept right now. But
yeah. And I need to think about some more Gulag cards because the Gulag is also in Patient X. So I want to come up with some Gulag cards to include in there. But yeah, I haven't really been other than like making a mental note of a effect idea. I haven't
no, exactly.
But
yeah, I'm kind of the same way. We have to find a way to use the image of the Russian kid when he's in the gulag getting the black oil treatment. We have to find some way to use that image on a card because it's just so creepy. I love it.
Right. And admittedly, I did sort of blush past the whole idea of using the black oil in season 4, especially from the Tunguska Terma. I really couldn't come up with an idea on how to incorporate that into the season 4 set, but doesn't mean we can't come up with something later.
We could do a mini black oil expansion.
Could. There's already the black oil card in the Scully set, so I mean we really can't have an adversary, but that doesn't mean there's not more.
There's so many other things to do with it.
Yeah, because the thing keeps mutating on the show and doing something different every time it appears. So
yes.
Let's find something to do with it. Yeah, let's definitely find something to do with it because I still, I feel like the season 4 set is, omitting it from all the cards, but I just could not really
You
find
can
a way.
only put so much in, like I said.
Yeah. I thought about it, but I just could not find a way to make it. An idea just wasn't brewing in my head for that card, knowing that it exists as an adversary already. So with that,
and there is the Krychek Possess card as well.
Right.
yeah, and there might actually be some black. And I think Mike and Matt's expansion does have black oil in there too. So I forget how though. I'd have to go back and look. Anyway, that's more for that. Yeah, Nathan, I do want to get back into writing the season 5 cards. It's like we're so close. It's like we're getting so close to the end of season 4 that I'm like, once it's out of my head, I feel like I know I'm going to have a better time thinking about moving forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's playing music to get us off the stage now.
That's the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Cut off music.
3 hours, gentlemen.
All right.
Speech time. All right. Yeah, I'm going to
Peace
bed.
out, everybody.
Have a
Yes,
good night.
Thank you.
So, real quick, Nathan. So next Saturday, potentially you have your deck ready. Just keep us posted on that, and we'll plan for playtest number 4.
Sounds good.
Pack the deck.
I'm going to try to work some stuff in that we haven't used yet. So
Yeah. More adversaries, but I don't care if you have to put 3 adversaries in your decks just to make it work. Pack them. I want to see adversaries. But yes,
All
Yeah,
I got it.
adversaries.
I got an idea. I got an idea about that.
Yeah.
So
all right, cool. Just keep put it in Discord, and we'll weigh on it.
all right, sounds good, fellas. Have a good night.
Very good
Good night,
night.
guys.
Good evening.